Hello everyone, on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today we welcome Dan Blanchard, whom is going to be having a very interesting conversation with Chip Baker. Chip is a best-selling author, teacher, and coach, but before starting with them, we want to remind you that if you want to collaborate with Mindalia, you can just like this video, leave us a positive comment down the video. You can subscribe to our channel, and not only to this channel, but to our Spanish channel, Mindalia Televisión, and our Portuguese channel, Mindalia Televisao. We're not going to be delaying this any further. I'm just going to have now the great pleasure of leaving you with Dan Blanchard and Chip Baker. Gentlemen, welcome to Mindalia. How are you today?
Wonderful, Myrna. It's so good to be back with you and the wonderful Mindalia TV audience out there. And they're in for a treat tonight with my old buddy Chip Baker. I mean, Chip, he's the guy that does the Success Chronicles. If any of you out there have heard of it, you probably have. It's a great YouTube series that's out there, and it shows you like the path of success and gives you lots and lots of inspirational stories. Heck, maybe you even saw me on it with Chip. I was on his show back a while ago, and it was awesome. You know, you're going to love this guy, Chip Baker. You're going to love his voice. You're going to love the fact that he's an amazing teacher, right? He's an amazing coach. This guy knows how to get it done. He even's got the power of the pen. He's an author, right? A best-selling author. How cool is that? And the guy, not only does he have a great voice, but he's a great speaker. All right, he gets up there in front of large audiences, and he delivers his message, and he delivers it well. And why wouldn't he? Because he's a life coach too. I mean, as this guy's accolades ever stop? So, Chip Baker, my old buddy, so glad you're on the show. Welcome to the show. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great. First off, man, you got me excited. I'm ready to put the pads on and go through the tunnel. Let's go.
Yeah, just like the old days, Chip, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Chip, I'm hoping you can, I know I just kind of scratched the iceberg, even though I said a whole bunch of things about you. But I know I just scratched the iceberg of the great man that you are. Maybe perhaps you can give us like a little bit of a background on some of these things you do, like you're a teacher, for instance. Sure. You know, people may want to know what it was like to grow up in your shoes and be a teacher and all the other things that you're doing.
Yeah, well, first off, I want to say thanks so much for the opportunity to be here with you and to be interviewed. I consider it an honor and a privilege. I admire your work, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity to be here with you. So let me just start with that.
Of course, then, you're welcome, man. Thank you for being here.
Yes,
we're really looking forward to having you and listening to what you have to say tonight.
Yes, well, myself, I'm just an ordinary guy working real hard to achieve some extraordinary things, you know, and for me, that's what it is. Grew up single parent, mom, great lady, great family. Father was in my life. I want to make sure I don't misconstrue that. Some people say, just single parent. My father was in my life, just not at the house. They separated. Yeah. Great hardworking man as well. And so I come from two great families. And then fourth generation educator.
Wow.
Yes, sir. My
That's
mother's
amazing.
yes, my mother's side. Church folk. There's a difference between church folk and church folks, right?
Yeah, you guys just got all the good stuff in your blood.
Yes, and so just grew up around some great people. Was blessed and fortunate to learn some awesome things, and then once I got into my career in education, this is my 21st year in education, and so I've been a teacher and coach, and just been fortunate to be around some great people as well to learn from, and that's kind of taken me to where I am now. With the Success Chronicles. And basically what I do is I just interview people from all walks of life and share their stories for positive inspiration and motivation. And it started from, just really wanting to give back to those amazing people that I was raised by and was around, just to highlight their stories, because we had amazing conversations all the time, but I couldn't be selfish and keep it to myself. So I wanted to highlight them, and now it's grown at a crazy rate. And here we are.
Yeah. So now, can you tell our audience, like, what do you teach?
So I'm certified special education. Done pretty much. Yes, sir. I've done pretty much everything under the special ed umbrella throughout my career. Junior high and high school. Same. coached
yeah,
football, powerlifting, and track.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So like I said, you got all that good stuff running through your blood. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And being a special education teacher and a coach, helping the young students, the young athletes out there. I mean, you're giving back every single day as it is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
In that capacity just alone. Not to mention, that from being a lifelong learner, you've met some great people, high quality people along the way. And it just encouraged you to broaden your influence, I guess, huh?
yes. And so, like I said, I realized, a long time ago that, man, these are some really amazing people. Like I said, starting from in my house, my mother, she achieved so many awesome things. And I have so many stories of family members, making a positive difference in the life of others,
Yeah.
and I just
Yep.
wanted to, be a part of that and do my part in that positive ripple effect to make our world a better place.
Oh yeah, no doubt, Chip. And can I
Yeah.
ask you, I mean, your students aware that you do like other things? The reason I'm asking, like the Success Chronicles, the reason I'm asking is that sometimes like students think like you sleep there at night, like you live there, that's all you do. Like you're correcting papers and photocopying stuff in the
Uh,
morning, that you don't have a home, like that's your home. But I just like I said, I was just wondering, your kids know you do other things because like my students do, and
mm,
they think it's pretty cool that I do
yeah.
other things. So are you finding that yourself?
Yes. Well, I'm not a big, talk about me kind of guy. I just do my thing and let the actions speak for themselves. And so there was a time where, I just did my thing, and a lot of my students really didn't know that, I had the YouTube channel or, an author. And, once they find out, they're like, what? I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I know, right? It's cool.
yeah.
And
I
so,
totally know that because I just got that yesterday and today from
mhm.
two different students. They came up to me and they go, "Are you an author?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I pointed across the classroom and I'm like, "That's one of my books right there." And they're like over there flipping through it and all that stuff. So I find that, and I always tell Chip, I always tell teachers, educators, yeah, even coaches to do this sort of thing. I'm like, when you do above and beyond, such as like your Success Chronicles, when you go above and beyond, you're broadening your abilities, skills, knowledge, everything, and you're making yourself more capable of dealing with students. And
Yes.
so, if they find out, they usually think it's cool, and there's
Yeah.
like that rapport there. But if
Yeah.
they never find out, it doesn't matter because you're more. You're even more now
Yeah.
than before, and you're better equipped. Do
You
you
know,
find that?
I do, as you were saying, I was thinking of one particular story. Well, there's a few stories. Like I have players, that watch my videos all the time. Some of my former players that are in college, even some that, have families now that, hey, coach, every day, I start off with a video, but, I was, the last few years, like the last 3 years, I did ISS, in school suspension. And,
I used to do that.
the teacher that, I was in there with, had my first book, which is Growing Through Your Go Through. And, there were some times where, like, if there was a kid or so that finished their work or, needed some, mind shifting, she
Yep.
would just say, hey, read this book, and write down what you learned, and then
Yeah.
they start looking through it. And I see them like looking at me, and they look at the book and they're looking at me like, wait, is that you? Like, yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, man, that's cool. I was like, yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
but it does build rapport, and I don't know, it's just been a blessing,
Yeah, no doubt. Every time we talk, Chip, I realize that we're more and more alike.
Oh, no
Every time
doubt.
we talk, and I'm at this stage now where it's pretty cool. Where my son is 15, and I got
Hmm.
4 daughters, but my son is 15, and I'll be having like a talk with him, and some subject will come up, and I'll say something about it. I'll talk about it a little bit, and we'll kind of go back and forth, and then I'll say, "Hold on a second," and I'll walk over and I'll grab one of my books and I'll say, "What we're talking about right now is in chapter 3 of this book." And I'll flip open the book and I'll point to something I wrote about that. And I'll say, "When you get a chance, read this chapter."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like such a cool thing to be able to do with my son. And it's a very cool thing also to like share with like students and athletes. When you've got those extra resources and what you say or what you wrote is like published, whether it's published in print, published in video, audio, whatever it is, it just totally
Yeah.
gives you some real like credibility,
Yes.
with your children, with your students, and with your athletes. So I always encourage people to be like Chip Baker, what I'm saying, and do more.
Yeah.
And I know you're tired. I mean, I'm tired. Chip, you're tired, right? But
Man,
do more.
it's
Do more. So how do we
it's
get more people to be like Chip Baker and do more?
I think I always tell people this. I'm two E words. I'm excited about the possibilities of things that can happen, but man, I'm exhausted. you know. But at the end of the day, when I get to go visit the big man, I want to be tapped out. I want to know that I've done everything I could to make a positive difference in this world. And
Yeah.
so what that does is it allows me to wake up every day on fire and on
Mm.
purpose, and every action that I take is intentional. There's no wasted moments. There's no wasted time because, I got things that I'm trying to achieve. And so that's what it allows me to do because I know what I do, my hope, what I do is making a positive difference, which I mean, I know it does, but my
Yep.
hope is that it's really making a difference. And
Yep.
it's crazy how when you strive to do those things with a good heart, with pure intentions, it's amazing how great things just happen for you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
organically happen, and you're like,
Mhm.
man, whoa, like where'd that come from?
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I've always had the attitude to try to rust out. I'm sorry, try to wear out and don't rust out, right? So,
Mm,
I mean, it makes so much sense. I mean, don't rust out, instead wear out. And when you get tired, I say do more. And people go, what? Like, that's not right, especially when you try to tell a student. Students come in all the time, oh, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. And I'm always like, well, when you're tired, do more.
do
When the
more.
athletes are doing sprints and they're exhausted or whatever it is, I go, when you're tired, do more. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm like, hold on. I said, do more could actually be something different. What I'm saying? What I don't want you to do is lay down on your back. I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to like retreat. What I'm saying? Maybe it's something like I can't do any more sprints, so now I'm gonna walk for a while until I'm able to do another sprint. What I'm saying? You're doing more, like whatever it is. So like never, and this is so true in your professional life as well. I mean, teachers get tired. So when you get tired, do more. What I'm saying? Maybe
Yes.
go and rejuvenate your batteries with like a YouTube series,
Hmm.
with writing blogs or whatever it is. So, don't rust out, wear out by doing more, maybe something different, go above and beyond the call. Maybe after school, here's the thing, do what Chip Baker does and coach sports. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
2:30, 3 o'clock comes around, Chip. I know you're tired, we're all tired. But you're gonna go coach sports, and that's gonna make it easier to teach that kid in class tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, 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 yes. I think too, as you were talking about all of that, it makes me think about habits and skills. I think,
Mm,
when we learn to do these, and this because you were an athlete as well, those things that you learn at a young age, the discipline that you learn to have successful habits that you learn at a young age,
yep.
it's teaching you transferable skills that you can transfer to your life. And just like where we are in our lives, just like you said, do more. I mean, you learned that a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
True.
Like, and that it's effective because when you did it a long time ago, it helped you be successful. And
Mm,
so now in your life, like it's nothing, like my son, Dad, you're positive. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, it's a mindset, your work. Yeah, you got to put the work in, and so just
yeah.
all of those things, like I learned that a long time ago, but really like all of those things, that's why I think sports are so great because it teaches you so much about life,
No
life
doubt.
lessons. And I mean, it's lessons that I learned, like I said, a long time ago that I still incorporate in my life as a, son, father, husband, teacher, coach, author,
Yeah.
all of those things that you do, like do more.
Do more, no doubt about it. And when you're an athlete and you're used to like sucking it up, like
Yeah.
it makes you like a better father, a better
Oh,
husband.
without a doubt.
Because yeah, when things get tough as a father, do like you did in sports, suck it up. when things get tough in your marriage, right? Do
Yeah.
what's like you did in sports and suck it up and be a good husband. Be a good teacher, be a good coach, be a good friend when things get tough. I'm saying? Suck it up. And this is like what you're talking about. Except the stuff that you learned early in life, the habits you learned through sports and, of the hard work. I mean, you got to do hard work, and you can't just think that you're going to graduate high school or graduate college or get your first job and that the hard work's going to be over. I don't think the hard work's ever over. You know what I'm saying? And the guys
No.
like me and you and many others out there, many other men and women out there that know how to suck it up are going to have a lot more success.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Uh, I think too, thing that something resonated with me as you were saying that is like the deal of teamwork. I think,
Yes.
and I'll tell you this story as a young guy, we didn't grow up in the best of best situations. And so, we had to go to the laundromat, and do our, wash our clothes. Right. So my
Yep.
mom would be like, hey, you go, get the clothes and bring them to this central location. You go get the baskets, the sheets or whatever. We're going to put them here. You tie them up. You load it in the car. So, she's the coach. Right.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
she's telling and the coach would discipline you too. Right.
Oh,
That
yeah.
coach,
Yeah.
and so, we all had a role. We all had a duty that we had to do once we got there. You go get the quarters, you load you do this, separate them. And so, as a kid, that taught me the value of teamwork and knowing that everybody has a role and, people are depending on you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
so you can't, slack off. You have to make sure that you do your job. Fast forward, now in my life, it's important that I'm on point in every aspect of my life because people are dependent on me.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so like I can't quit. Like I can't have bad days. They don't exist. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I can't, like it's no off days. Like I can't because there's people depending on me. So
Yeah.
and when you know that again, like I said, you wake up every day on fire and inspired because hey, gotta go get it.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Well, a lot of people don't realize, Chip, and I mean, me and you get this. The other educators out there get this. He said, you're probably teaching 5, maybe 6 classes a day. There
Yeah.
could be 30 kids in each
Yeah.
class. And you might have special education kids, English language learner kids, kids with disabilities, all sorts of different types of kids that need you. And
Yes.
when you're an educator, you're basically doing 5 shows a day. You got 30 sets of eyeballs that are watching your every move. And if you're showing, weakness or fatigue or uncertainty, what I'm saying? You're showing any of those things, that class is not going to go well for those students and
Yeah.
probably not you either. What I'm
Right.
saying? So you got to be on. You got to be on 5 times a day, as a teacher, maybe 6. And then as a coach, you got to be on for maybe a couple hours after school. And then
Hmm.
I know, like yesterday, me and you are both speakers. I had to go out and do an hour speech on the way home last night, and I had to be on for an hour there. You know what I'm saying? So there was no downtime. There was
Hmm.
no like, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? And these are the things that you learn as you're going through life when you got good coaches or when you got your mom that's coaching you
Yeah.
and you're learning that you need to be coachable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You need to be coachable because if you're not coachable, things could go bad for you. And then when you get to be like our age and you can't have bad days, you can't have like time off. I mean, are you going to know how to do it if you're not coachable when you're young?
That's right. That's right. And I think, like I said, you're learning successful habits. When you're young, when you're going through those things, you don't know it. But and I think as educators, we can be uh more effective when we can make it relevant like that. Like, hey, like I'm teaching you this not just because it's football. Like I'm teaching you this because this is gonna apply to your life. Like when you,
Yep.
are a husband and have kids and have a family, like you will always have to multitask in your life. Like
Oh, yeah.
we expect you to be great in the classroom. We expect you to be great, on the field. We expect you to be great in the community. We expect you to be, and that carries on throughout your life. And so like now, like we if anything happened where we didn't do all of that stuff, we wouldn't know how to act.
Yeah.
Because that's what we've done all of our life. Like, man, what's going on? This is weird. Like used to juggling all of these things, all the time, and being the best version of ourselves at it too. So I don't know. I think that's where the fun is.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely got to have fun, because that's when you become like a sponge. When you suck
Yes.
up the learning, and when you
Yes.
try harder on the athletic fields, you got to have fun. But at the same time, like I said, you just got to be coachable and develop some of those habits. And I think the parents out there need to let the coaches coach and let the teachers teach, and not try to, maybe soften the blows is the wrong way to put this. But sometimes it's tough lessons to learn. You know what I'm saying? If a kid's late for practice, then maybe he should run like a flight of stairs or go run a lap. And maybe the parents shouldn't get involved and saying my kid shouldn't run a lap. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's a whole world out here of adults that got to let the coaches coach, the teachers teach, and you got to have a youth that's got to be coachable, so that we can have a successful youth that grows into that successful next generation of responsible, mature adults that are going to lead this world. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not going to be the leaders of this world forever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're going to lead this world. So I just think those are some of the things we need to do. And when you're doing those sort of things, as an adult, then it just, like you said earlier, Chip, it's just like natural that you just kind of just keep busy, multitasking, all that. And then here you are teaching 5-6 classes, doing the ISS, coaching sports. And yet somehow you still put the pen to the paper and wrote yourself some books. I mean, could you give us a little insight on what was that journey like? How did you even find time to do that? And there's energy to do that. And what was your motivation to do it? What was your message?
Well, I think just like I said, when I started the Success Chronicles, I just started to show appreciation and give back. And along that journey, great things happened. I connected with Dr. Oliver T. Reed, and he's my co-author. We're doing a 4-book series, and we just put out the series is Solutions to Your Success. And so the first book was Growing Through Your Go Through. We put that one out last year. None of us are immune from going through tough things. We're all going to have bad things happen to us. But what we have to do is make sure that we learn, find the blessings within the lessons, so that when we get out on the other side, we have grown through that, and now we're better for others. And so that was the first book. And then the second book we dropped a few months ago, which is Effective Conversation to Ignite Relationships. And so, like I said, Dr. Reed and we connected. I interviewed him on the Success Chronicles. We hit it off very well. We're like, hey, let's do a topic session. So we linked up the next week and did a topic session. Hey, let's do that again next week. So before we knew it, was like a month and a half. And then we were like, hey, well, we need to put this in some books. Like, this is good stuff. And so that's kind of where it all started, the concept. And so,
so you guys found a real synergy there.
Yes, we did. And so now, like, we're about to do a book tour for the second book. I've done some book signings, and about to do a Texas book tour, and we have plans to do in some different states. We're going to do East Coast, West Coast, Atlanta. So we have some things planned, seminars. So I'm excited about that.
And a few more books down the road.
Oh, without a doubt.
More book series.
Yeah, there's this one guy that I know is really good. He has some really good books that I follow. A great guy in education. We have some similar values and traits, but he's doing a book a month. And so I think I'm going to connect with him and, and make sure. Oh, wait, that's you.
Yeah.
I think
laughing when you were saying that.
I think I'm going to connect with him, and then hopefully he and I can do some work together, and maybe I can learn some things from him, because I think what he does is pretty awesome. Oh, wait, that's you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
I'm always up for that synergy, Chip.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? I'm always up for that synergy. So let me make this statement. When I was a young boy, even a young man probably, like, I wasn't really into reading. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed as a teacher, I've been a teacher for many years, teacher, coach, and as a teacher, I've dealt with a lot of special education students and a lot of mainstream students, and I just see that pattern all over the place. How the young boys, like, it's like somehow it's not cool, I guess, to like read. Maybe that's something a girl does. And now, all these years later, Chip, me and you know, we're prolific readers. You know, we're writers, we're authors of books. You know, we've just seen the value, the total value of like reading and writing. And we don't say that's a girl's job. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the young boys I see now, they think, oh, maybe it's too effeminate. I should be doing something manly, maybe shooting baskets or wrestling or playing football or even like some manly kill 'em, shoot 'em up video games. You know what I'm saying? But I always try to put the message out there that listen, man, it's okay. You're supposed to be reading. I mean, don't get fooled by that. And I don't know, how do we get the message out there better that the young men, you got to find some time to read. And you know what? Writing might not be bad either.
You know, it first starts with the ability to teach them that it really doesn't matter what anybody else think about what you do. What matters is what you think about what you do. And I think when you can teach that message to be an independent thinker, you know, like God gave you gifts and talents that like we're all a one of one, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yep.
God gave, you know, you gifts that he didn't give me. And God gave me gifts that he didn't give, you know. And so
Yep.
what we have to do is tap into what our gifts are. And if we hold ourselves back by saying, well, that just girls do that, or you've just held yourself back. So I think we have to teach kids to be open to the possibilities of, you know, searching things that make you happy. And if you find whatever makes you happy, then do what makes you happy. And it doesn't matter what anybody else think. I think, and that's the great thing that I've been blessed with too. I was taught as a young kid, like, you know, do your thing, you know, like it doesn't, you know, be a
Yeah.
leader, you know, like you don't have to worry about, people going to talk about you either way. So, I mean, good or bad. So, I mean,
True.
like within that, you know, what are you saying to yourself about you,
Yep.
and that's what's the most important thing. And so when you can teach that to kids and show them real life examples of like, man, like I grew up with a single parent, you know, mom, we struggled. I mean, you know, you know, in a small town, you know, of course, you know, I was, but sports, you know, changed my life. I mean,
I
don't get
do.
me wrong. Like I was, you know, had a great start, you know, I want to make sure I say that, but like the ability to be able to play college football and be around elite people, you know,
Yep.
education wise, that allowed me to push myself and say, hey, well, you know, you either push to get better, or you go home, and going home wasn't an option, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you get better. And then, you know, once you see, well, yeah, I can do this. Well, then, you know, the next step is, hey, well, what's the next phase of me pushing myself to be better? And so you
Yeah.
continue on that path. And then now I look back at that and I'm glad that, you know, I didn't limit myself. You know, I'm glad that
Yeah.
I saw that the possibilities are possible. And then now I'm seeing in my age that when you work hard and do things the right way, opportunities bring opportunities. And so,
Yeah.
you know, as
Yeah.
a kid, as a young male, you know, be open, you know, don't limit yourself. You know that the possibilities are limitless. You know, whatever it is you can think
Right.
to create, like it's just as good as done, especially, you know, technology and the
Yep.
access to, I mean, I was talking to somebody yesterday about, you know, recently we used to have to go to the library, you know, the encyclopedia, you know,
I
now,
remember that.
yeah, I mean, like now you pick up your phone and you can go anywhere in the world and learn anything you want to learn. I mean, like there's no
Yeah.
excuse. Like it's no
No.
excuse for you not to be great. No excuse.
Yeah. I love that. No excuse not to be great. I love how you say, don't limit yourself. So all the
No.
young men out there, you want to be manly? Don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do some reading, do some writing, and just be open-minded to like growth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Be open-minded to growth. And I love, Chip, how you didn't limit yourself. I mean, some people say that speaking is probably like one of the two scariest things in the world. And both me and you are professional speakers and life coaches. For
Yeah.
me, I just knew all the way back when I was reading those Tony Robbins books back in the 90s. I just knew at some point I'd be a professional speaker. And then the life coach thing just slowly evolved. I mean, what
Mhm.
was your journey like for you not to limit yourself and for you to take that huge step off the ledge into the abyss, of saying, guess what? I think I'm going to be a speaker, and then a life coach. What was that journey like for you? How'd you get there? How did you have the courage
You know what's
to not limit
funny
yourself?
is what's funny is I'm really in I, I just kind of accepted this and just started talking about this. So be patient with me. I'm
Yeah,
trying to be better here now.
it's all good.
Really, I'm an introvert, right? Like
Yep.
I would prefer to just be, I'm okay, I'm good. Not making any noise. I'm not bothering anybody. Don't
Yeah.
bother you. Ain't bothering me. But
And you got that
so,
soothing voice, so I can
yeah.
picture you as an introvert.
Yeah, so but what allows me to come alive and step outside the cage and open up with my is that I'm passionate about making a positive difference. Because there's been so, like I said earlier,
Mhm.
there's been so many people that have helped me in my life, and like I'm just trying to return that favor, trying to do that. And I know that in order for kids to be better, in order for you know young boys to grow up to be great husbands and great men, I have to make sure that I teach those things to every kid that
Mhm.
I'm blessed and fortunate to be, and anybody that I'm blessed, or any experience that I've had in my life that I can help, I'm willing to do that. And so I think that's what allows me to do the things that I do. And, and I think I've been fortunate for some people to say, hey, you've lived a pretty neat life. Can you talk to us about that? And then kind of,
Oh,
those experiences came about
uh,
speaking, and, and of course, as a coach, we always do that,
oh
in the
yeah,
locker room, the truth room, one-on-ones with the kids, and so, and that's still a guarded thing for me, like
yeah.
you guard those personal relationships and those personal interactions, but that's what makes me come alive, makes me step out
Yeah.
there and do my thing as far as speaking.
So I think that you just hit on something important. I mean, there are many times that we're like, we wouldn't do some of these bigger things for ourselves, but because we're trying to help somebody else, we
Yes.
often find ourselves, maybe against our own free will, we find ourselves doing these bigger things. So, for instance, when you stepped in front in a classroom in front of those 30 kids, and it might have been 5 different classes, so you're looking at 150 kids, homeroom, 180 kids,
Mhm.
specials, ISS room. When you stepped in front of those 200 something kids, you were doing it for them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's not easy to step in front
Right.
of those kids. And then you walk out to the football field or whatever else you decide to coach along the years, and you're stepping in front of those 50 kids. You know what I'm saying? That's like kind of scary. But when you're doing it for somebody else, you find yourself doing it. And then you put
Yeah.
pen to paper and you're writing. That's scary to write a book, but you're doing it to help others. You find the courage. And then the speaking thing, and then the life coach thing. So I think when you're doing it for others because you're helping others, it makes you so much bigger and braver. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, without a doubt, I know I'm an educator, so this is not grammatically correct or whatever. So just brace yourself. I learned I learned a long time ago that, man, it ain't about me. It ain't about you.
Yeah.
And so when you learn and really embrace the fact that, you know, just like I said earlier, it's bigger than you because you have people depending on you.
Yeah.
When you do, because if it's just about you, when it gets tough, you'll quit, you'll give up.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
But if you know that there's something bigger involved in what you do, and really like quitting is no option. Like that's not a like it's not an option. Like
Yeah.
failing is no that's not even an option. Like that's not even thought about. I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna win or I'm gonna learn, right?
Yeah.
Because within those where there's losses, there's an opportunity for growth. There's opportunity to look and reflect and say, okay, what did I make mistakes on here, and how can I be better? And so
Mhm.
you win or you learn. And so
Yeah. It ain't all about losing; it's about learning. And so I think the whole like theme here of of being successful is going big. And I think through your Success Chronicles, that's a message that's repeated over and over
Yes.
about going big. Let's
Yeah.
go big. That's where it's at. So like I said, I know you're doing so many great things with the Success Chronicles and the teaching and the coaching and the speaking and the life coaching and the authoring and everything else. I mean, what are you looking at, Chip, down the road? You got a couple more books coming out, I know, and you said you got a bunch of other things you're doing. What does the next couple of years look like for you?
The next couple years looks like more excitement and more exhaustion. Okay. I'm just
E,
gonna put
baby.
that out there.
Is that E squared?
Yeah, E square. Big capital E. Big.
Yeah.
No. Yes, more books. Of course, finishing the 4-book series, doing a couple personal ones myself. Just got certified recently, John Gordon, Power of Positive Leadership, trained to do that. And so we'll be, training educators, corporate, on that, and traveling. We'll be doing more book tours. I was featured in, was one of the authors in a collaboration, Suited for Success. And that'll be volume 2, and that'll be coming out
Cool.
in December. And so, what it is, it's a compilation of 25 African American men that are over the United States that are highlighted. And so,
Nice.
each has a chapter, and I think that'll be, pretty historic and something I'm proud of. But, just lots, just continuing to work and grow and, strive to be the best version of myself so that I can
Yeah.
help others.
Chip, I think me and you are cut from the same breed.
Oh, without a
We're like
doubt.
the same cloth. It's like lifelong learners.
Yeah,
Saying we're lifelong learners, and we're always striving to be good men.
that's
Good
it.
men will give back.
Yeah, and I wasn't playing when I said I'll follow that guy, and I wanted to reach out to him and do some work with him. I meant that. Oh wait, that's you.
Yeah.
oh,
Listen, I'd be honored to work.
oh, that's you.
You'd help me up my game.
Let's go.
That'd be awesome. So I know Mirna is going to be getting ready to come back on in a few moments to close us out. Chip, but I was just wondering if there was maybe something that I should have asked you that I didn't get around to yet.
No, I think we hit lots, and again, I'm appreciative. But if you don't mind, before closing out, I want to just kind of hit on my tagline that of my YouTube channel, and what I wholeheartedly believe in. And there's some words here, and every time I say these words, it gives me chills because there's life meaning behind everyone and experiences. And so my tagline is live, learn, serve, inspire, go get it. And so I think we all have to live a life where we live, and don't be afraid to make mistakes, and just enjoy the moments, be in the moments, and live. And from that, when we do that, we learn so much about the world. We learn so much about a lots of things, but most important, we learn ourselves, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then once we do that, I think it's important for us to serve others, and give back, the things that we've learned. And in doing that, and in going through our trials and tribulations, we little do we know is that, it's inspiring to others because others see us do our thing, right? and
Yep.
and, and so live, learn, serve, inspire. And then the last is a go get it. I think we have to have a go get it mentality. No
I agree.
nothing, no success will happen on its own. Great things don't just happen. You have to go make it happen. And so we
True.
got to go get it.
That's great advice. I love that tagline, Chip.
Thank you.
Great advice. I think everybody should listen to it every day.
Go
Absolutely.
get it.
Go get it. So, Mirna, I know you're getting ready to come back on to close us out.
Yes,
How
I
you doing over
am.
there?
But I'm back here, and of course, as always, before we leave, I want to ask you, Chip, where can our audience find you?
Well, where they can find me is I'm on all social medias at Chip Baker TSC, as in the Success Chronicles. Um, you know, YouTube channel is the Chip Baker the Success Chronicles. His podcast, any podcast platform is the same. Have a radio show that airs Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Central. www.radio1117.com. www.radio1117.com. And so, just search any social media at Chip Baker TSC, and you can find me. And so, I would love for people, the usual things that people say. I would love for people to, go on, like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, all of that stuff. And that's great. But bigger than that for me, if you go on and you see something that you like and someone comes to mind that that it will benefit, please share it with them, because that way we can help, do our part to make our world a better place. And again, it ain't about me.
Thank you. That's actually one of the things we really like to say. Like, if you know someone that can benefit of the content that we have developed here today, please
Yes.
share. Share with whomever
Yes.
you feel that's gonna be inspired with it. Thank you, Chip, for being with us. How about Mr. Dan Blanchard? Where can we
Well,
find you?
thank you, man. They can find me at danblanchard.net, granddaddy6.com, any of the social media channels. I'm on pretty much all of them: Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Check me out. Amazon, definitely check me out there. I've got a bunch of books there under Dan Blanchard and Daniel Blanchard. And of course, on our beloved Mindalia TV. Hey!
Let's go.
Thank you again. So, thank you for allowing the Mindala TV cameras, for being a channel, for your ideas. Thank you for sharing your time with us, gentlemen. We are very grateful. And to our audience, of course, remember liking, subscribing not only this channel, but our Spanish channel and our Portuguese channel. We are saying goodbye for now, and until next time.